Hello and welcome back to Joyful Cooking. Today we'll be making a sweet and sour tofu. Let's get started. So you want to take your 15 ounce of tofu and cut it into cubes. Then you want to take one of your pieces and cut it in half, and cut that in half and that in half. So it's about this thick and it's like a cube. And then you continue doing it with the other slices. And then after you cut your cubes, you want to go place your tofu onto a pan or something like this so they can just lay out flat. Okay, and then you just go ahead and put them onto the pan. Just like that. And then when you're done, I'm going to go ahead and take a 1/4 cup of amino acids and pour it right over the tofu. Make sure each tofu can get some, as much as you can. And then take 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and spread that over the tofu as well. Just like so. And 1 teaspoon of garlic powder right over there. And 2 tablespoons of agave nectar or honey. And now you want to just take your pan and just maneuver all the ingredients around the tofu. And then after you do that, just take a fork and flip each one over. Just like that. So it's getting all those ingredients. So this is how they look after they've been flipped, and each one flipped, having all those ingredients inside. And now we're going to put them inside the oven. Bake the tofu on 350 for 20 minutes. And I'm making 2 pans, so I'm about to put the other pan of tofu inside. Now for the sweet and sour sauce, you need a cup of spaghetti sauce with a cup of pineapple juice, a 1/4 cup of agave or honey, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of amino acids, and 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And stir all ingredients together. I'm going to stir it around for a few minutes and then let it sit so it can thicken up. And cover the sauce. Now while the sauce is cooking, we're going to take out our tofu. It's been in the oven for 20 minutes now. It smells delicious. Just turn that around like that. We're just going to set that aside until the sauce is ready. Alright, so now we're going to check on our sauce. Ooh, nice and bubbly. I'm just going to stir that around, and it should be getting thick now. Getting a thick consistency. We'll just stir that around for a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and add in our cornstarch mixture. So you want to add 1 tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. And when you pour it in, you want to quickly stir with the whisk because it will stick. Okay? And while you're whisking in the cornstarch, just add a little bit of water in. Not even a teaspoon, just a little bit. Okay, so now the sauce is a nice thick consistency. And now I'm going to just turn off the fire and cover it so it can still get a little bit more thick and also cool off a little bit. And now, stay tuned for health tips for today. So now we're going to talk about our health tips for today. Today we're making sweet and sour tofu, and the main ingredient is tofu. And I love working with tofu because you can make so many meals from tofu. You can make desserts, you can make main entrees, you can make side dishes just from using tofu. So I know many people don't think that they would enjoy tofu because it's bland, has no taste. But if you have the right seasonings and you have a right sauce to go with the tofu, like we're making the sweet and sour tofu, and something that the tofu can marinate in, you would love tofu, because tofu soaks in all the ingredients and all the seasonings that you put it into. Also, tofu has a good amount of protein. Many people think you can only get protein from flesh meats, but that's not the case. Tofu provides 18.3 grams of protein, and that's pretty much because we only need 10% of protein in our meals. So 18.3 grams is a good amount of protein, and you can just get that from tofu. Also, many people wonder what tofu is made out of. Tofu comes from a bean called soybean. So does soy milk and other soy ingredients, as soy butter or any other meat ingredient alternative. It comes from soybean. So that's what tofu comes from. It comes from soybean, and its original state is in a white block, and that's it. But you can make so many things with it. Like I said earlier, you can chop it up, you can keep it whole, you can mush it, you can blend it, you can even make sauces from tofu. So there's so many good benefits from tofu. And then when you pair tofu with a sweet and sour sauce, that's going to be delicious with spaghetti sauce and pineapple juice. And make sure your pineapple juice is 100% pineapple juice, so you get all those nutrients in there, and you have its original state and no artificial flavors. So then you have the spaghetti sauce and pineapple juice and salt and amino acids. You have all that in your sweet and sour sauce, and then you will have that over the tofu, and it's a delicious meal. So I know you'll enjoy this meal. Now we're going to go back to the show. So here's our delicious sweet and sour tofu. We have the sweet and sour sauce nicely over the tofu, and then we just paired it with some brown rice to go with that. So I hope you enjoy this meal, and stay tuned for more Joyfully Cooking.